Hi there, welcome to the Polygon Wyckoff technical analysis session. Last week we asked the question, is Polygon testing a key resistance before its final launch to the moon? So now we are going to revisit the chart because today it has already gone through the resistance. So while it's too early to call it a win, but if I zoom in to what's happening, this week's candle has clearly surpassed the very key resistance level of 0.28. That's the bottom edge of the long-term playground zone, this big white box that started back in 2021. So here you can see very crazily Polygon in March this month has actually gone below this box. The meaning it has gone below the price all the way back in 2021, beginning of that year. So one would assume Polygon is over. That seems like people has abandoned it and it's not a favorite kid anymore. But now a very magical thing happens after 2 months. So early July it first went through that key resistance. Now it's going to break above it again. The hope here is that this candle closes above this line, because that's the thing that even the July's price surge wasn't able to do. So if this really happens, that means the chance of getting to a new distribution cycle is near. Not so soon getting to the buying climax, but at least a PSY may happen. So it has to happen first before the buying climax comes. So that's what happened over here. So this may be the last point of support and backup that we're seeing over the last 3 weeks. The test may not appear eventually. So it's a good news for the bulls or who have been holding and waiting for the price to finally surge. This week and next week are critical. So hopefully for the remaining 6.5 hours, the price is going to close above this key resistance and turn it to a support. And then eventually for the coming weeks, go challenge the red key level of 0.43 and eventually show us at least to challenge the 0.70 yellow key support on key level, because that was where the December 2004 buying climax challenged. It also challenged the mid or center line of the long-term playground zone, this white line at 0.76. So it's very key for the price to challenge those. Also because that I've drawn this downward trend line. It's peak lower than peak. It's not something positive if you're trying to hold long term on a project, because that means diminishing long-term value. So hopefully it goes beyond the white and challenge the green, because only by challenging the green when it comes up, it breaks above this downward trend line for the peaks. So if you are really trying to be a diamond hand and stay for long, aim for the price to go above the 0.93 key level, or at least touching it, because otherwise the curse is still around. So that's the big picture for Polygon. While we celebrate this week's jump, currently it's showing 10.3% to me for today. I hope it's going to come beyond this yellow line. I'll still keep this yellow line here, and maybe in a few months time we'll know whether it's going to peak once again just at the white line. Hopefully it's not that. Let's go to the daily now and see what's happening. Just quickly checking the Bollinger Band and corner squeeze. Let me switch on the auto and then turn it off. So now what we're seeing is the squeeze that has happened I should have shared last week because that has clearly entered this zone. The surge has started right at the day on this subsequent session. So the Bollinger Band Corner Squeeze signal is again like telling us something is going to happen, and indeed it's happening now. So this breakout may just have started. So time to switch this off and go back to the Wyckoff and key levels. This white line we already talked about, no need to emphasize again. This channel box that we are seeing is going to continue, and likely with this going up it may even break above this box, but let's not hope that to happen, because if it really breaks outside of this box too fiercely, a lot of times the result is a big pushback from the top. That's what happened back on July the 8th. You see that very huge wick over there. Somebody, maybe a fat finger or a bunch of people FOMO in, they jumped the gun and then got pushed really hard back to this point. So that's not where we want to go. A more sustainable price surge or moon launch would be, first, stay above this white line, like I said in the beginning, then eventually keep testing this top edge. Once gathering sufficient momentum, it can break out and shoot towards the peak, towards the buying climax. Right now, it's getting mature. This backup last point of support platform has been built. You see this horizontal area. It's not clear with the text. What I'm trying to say is this. This horizontal trading zone, that's a very typical consolidation before a price pump. So this chance of a spring, let's go to, I guess, 5%, less than 10. More than that is it's going to a PSY, not the Gangnam Style, not the guy that sang Apatu with APT with Rosé. So this preliminary supply is likely the case or the stage we're going to see, and eventually that will lead us to a buying climax. Whether or not it's going to head to this white line, that's what we hope for as a first stop. Hopefully, maybe there will be an upthrust heading towards the green line. That's what the long-term players, the diamond hands, really, you guys have to hammer hard to get to this level, because I've already explained. If Polygon doesn't go to that level, if the big guys doesn't push it to that level, that means the long-term prospect of Polygon is gone. The big guys are not loving it anymore, unless something changed. So that's the key message for Polygon. While we hope for the distribution cycle finally happens, the peak is very key for the long-term success of Polygon, as well as those who have been supporting the project and holding Polygon for quite a while now. So good luck to you guys. Let's see what's going to happen in the next few weeks, because it should be something very exciting.